Good morning and welcome to Duquesne University and the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry. We're really glad you joined us here this morning, and we hope that you watch this video and then ask us any questions you'd like to later at the chat and explore the booths at the ballroom later today. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the program because you can check us out online. You can get all the curriculum details there. So I'm going to let you explore that on your own. So today I'm just going to tell you a few highlights and then take you on a tour of our department. So there's two things I really want to highlight about our department. The first is our cohort curriculum model, and the second is undergraduate research. So in our cohort curriculum model, all our majors take their classes together. So you won't be in the big general chemistry class, you'll be in a class just with majors. So how many ever chem majors and biochemistry majors come in that year? 25, 30, that's the class size you'll have for the general chemistry class. And you'll have professors at all times for your class and your recitation. Usually I teach Gen Chem 1, so I will greet you at your first class on Monday morning of your freshman year. And then we do this for a few reasons. One, it helps you make friends. Two, it helps you make study groups. And three, we find our students are much more successful this way because they have consistent people to work with and study with as they go through their curriculum. Secondly, that cohort then usually participates in undergraduate research. In our department, 90% of the students participate in undergraduate research of some form or another. And there's three major ways you can do this. First, you can volunteer in a lab. Second, you can take course credit. And third, you can participate in the undergraduate research program. Now, we encourage our students in the chemistry department to start this in the spring of their freshman year. So students get up to 3.5 years of undergraduate research, which is quite a benefit to them when they're applying to grad schools. So our students start off as volunteers, and then usually by the middle to end of their sophomore year, they're taking it for course credit. And then they also join the undergraduate research program in the summer. Now, students who really like their research and take up to 3 semesters of undergraduate research can do an undergraduate thesis. This thesis is written and then orally defended in front of a committee of professors, and it gives students a lot of practice for when they get to grad school or when they get to their careers. And so about half of our class each year writes undergraduate theses. So we've had a lot of success with this undergraduate research program. Our students are very successful and they go on to schools such as Harvard, Yale, Hopkins, Duke, Northwestern for chemistry grad programs. And then they go to med schools such as Temple, Penn State, and Boston University, as well as the University of Pittsburgh. So our students are very successful in their careers and in graduate schools. About half of our students go to graduate school. And the way our students get there is through this cohort model and undergraduate research. When they're doing the undergraduate research, as I said, it's very important to them and they're very successful. So students who are doing the research, every year the juniors go to the American Chemical Society, fully supported by the department. We pay for the whole trip. It's usually on the West Coast, so it's fun, and the students learn. And then they also publish papers. Each year, about 8 of the papers coming out of the department have undergraduate researchers on it, and there's about somewhere between 40 to 60 posters per year that are published with undergraduate researchers. So our students are successful in their careers, they're successful while they're here at Duquesne, and they also have a good time. We have 2 undergraduate organizations, the American Chemical Society Student Affiliates and the ACTS Chemical Fraternity. Students often join both of these. One, the ACS, is more of a network and mentoring group, and the other one, ACTS, is more of a social fraternity. And so students join both so that they can get both aspects of the department. And it's really key to part of our department socialization. So we hope that you will stay with us and come and ask us questions during our chat, and also come to visit us here on campus. So this first lab we're going to take a look at here is our organic chemistry lab. And so when you take your lab with only your chemistry and biochemistry major cohort, you're going to be here in this large lab. It was recently renovated. All of our majors labs were recently renovated. And so you can see here we have the nice snorkel hoods that keeps our fumes down to a minimum. Every student will get their own equipment so they can work on their own. And occasionally they will also work in pairs with their nearby neighbors. Again, this is organic chemistry, and you will take this in your second year. This is our general chemistry lab. It is for first-year students. Again, in here you will be here with just your chemistry and biochemistry majors. You would be here every week for about 3 hours, and you will do your lab. You'll get your pre-lab from your TA. We use the most experienced TAs for our chemistry majors, and then you'll write up your lab notebook, and that will get graded every week. At the end of the semester, you're going to take a lab practical based on all the skills you've learned. This is what we call the instrument lab because it has a number of different instruments in it. You will use these both in your classes and in your undergraduate research. So it has infrared spectrometers, UV vis spectrometers, mass spectrometers are all in this room together. Students sign up individually for time. And the great thing about doing undergraduate research at Duquesne, unlike at a large school, is we have all the equipment of a large school, but it's a small school. You'll be trained to use it. You'll be allowed to use it on your own. You won't have to hand it off to a staff member or a grad student, but you will get to do the research by yourself. This room just holds mass spectrometers. The equipment in this room totals values of about $1.5 million. So students are specially trained on this equipment who work in the analytical chemistry labs. We don't use these for classes except for advanced forensic science lab. And the students using it do trace elemental analysis in both biological and environmental samples. This is the scanning electron microscope, and it allows us to see things at very tiny or microscopic levels. In fact, we go down to the micron level in this microscope. So here Jan is operating the microscope, and the images that we can take, we can do biological samples, we can do solid state samples, and we can do polymeric samples. So it allows us to evaluate solid materials on a number of scales, including atomic levels.